My name's Sabrina Ramonov, and in this video, I'm going to test out Anthropic's prompt generator to create a bunch of prompts related to requests that I've received. So some of you may know I went viral on TikTok last week, and as a result of that, I received many comments and DMs about getting additional prompts, especially related to common things like job hunting, meeting notes, things like that. Here I made a list of the most frequent prompt requests related to job hunting that I've gotten so far. And as you can imagine, for anyone who's ever applied to a job, these are all relevant and important to anyone who's currently job hunting right now. So interview prep, brainstorming questions that you're most likely to get and different strategies to answer them. Finding new jobs. So for example, given your particular skill set, what roles may be a good fit that you haven't thought about yet. How to negotiate salary, how to think about, what is the average salary in your industry and location, and how to negotiate a higher salary for yourself. Cover letter writing, since a lot of jobs unfortunately still require you to write a cover letter. I'm not really sure why or what value that adds in most cases, but it is what it is. And avoiding common resume mistakes or optimizing your existing resume. So what I'm going to do is use Anthropic's prompt generator and kind of give each scenario to the prompt generator to create a prompt. And then I'm going to plug in that prompt in ChatGPT and see what it produces. And for those of you not familiar with Anthropic, it's a company similar to OpenAI. They also have large language models that you can use similar to ChatGPT. And what's really handy is they recently released a prompt generator, which takes the best practices in prompt engineering and automatically incorporates them in a prompt that you can use right away. So here, all you have to do when you generate a prompt is specify the task and then the input and the output. So let's start with interview prep. So that was the first one. Let's just describe what I'm doing. So I am interviewing for a role. Brainstorm the top 10 most difficult interview questions I am likely to encounter. Then explain the optimal answer for each question. So that's the task. So I'm pretending hey, I'm job hunting. I'm trying to interview for a role, and I want ultimately you, ChatGPT, to brainstorm a bunch of interview questions and help me think through how to answer each one. But right now we're generating the prompt that's going to do this. So the input for this prompt will be role I am interviewing for. Will be the list of interview questions with strategies, the optimal or the best strategy for which one, list of, okay, and let's generate this prompt. And what I found so far from dabbling with the prompt generator is it does seem to work pretty well, much better certainly than if I were to sit here from scratch writing the prompt myself. I know that there are GPTs though that you can use for ChatGPT. I believe there's Prompt Artisan and some other ones as well. So if I type here, oh yeah, Prompt Engineer is another one to create superior ChatGPT prompts. It would be interesting though. So let's take this and then let's ask this GPT to improve my prompt. So we have a little prompt engineering pipeline starting with Anthropic's prompt generator and then using the prompt engineer GPT to further improve the prompt. It looks identical so far unless I'm missing something, blah, blah, blah. I mean, so far the only change I see is changing explanation for why this approach is effective to explanation reason why this approach is effective, which is pretty much the same. Yeah, so interestingly, it didn't really improve the prompt in any meaningful way. So that's pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and try it out. So here, and then the role will be, let's say social media manager. So here's the first interview question. How do you stay updated? Okay, and it gives you a pretty detailed answer. And then the reasoning behind it is to show you're proactive and dedicated to continuous learning. Oh, I like this. Yeah, describe a successful campaign that you've actually done from start to finish. I like here how it's using specific metrics, because that's a big thing to use, like to be specific about the results you've achieved. So far, I'm really liking. Oh, that's a good one. I'm really liking these questions, the answers, and the reasoning. How do you handle negative comments? Kind of a generic answer, but it makes sense. It's kind of the safe approach. What metrics? Da, da, da. Yeah, I mean, these spot on for sure. Yeah, I really like actually that so far all of these answers are balancing quantitative and qualitative. I think that is an important aspect of any role, honestly. How do you optimize it if you're not like measuring whatever your KPIs are, whatever that is for your role? I like how it gives an example here. For example, blah blah blah. I'm not a social media manager, but if I had to guess, these probably are the more challenging questions, and can really separate applicants who kind of managed it but didn't know the ins and outs of what they were doing versus people who are very much in the weeds, measuring things all the time, trying to optimize numbers and things like that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm pretty impressed actually by by this prompt and then the questions it generated. So one way I can think of improving this answer is including 2 relevant educational blog posts to learn more about each topic. I when it comes to like finding links and stuff though, like sometimes ChatGPT just hallucinates links, and so usually I'll try to use something like Perplexity to fill in that information. Another thing I can think of is adding like 1 or 2 follow-up questions after each answer. So we could try something like that. And a follow-up question after my answer. Here, follow up question. Question, okay. Follow-up question after my optimal answer. Okay. And then let's put a new role here, like AI product manager. That'll be fun. Oops. Okay. So how do you prioritize features? Da da da. Oh, nice. I like this follow-up question. An example when you had to deprioritize a feature. Nice. Still kind of a generic product development question, not necessarily related to AI specifically, but still. I like number 2 a lot. How do you handle ethical concerns? Because obviously that is a hot topic in AI, thinking about guardrails, governance, QA, ethics, all that good stuff. And so that's really interesting. Nice. It actually, here, the follow-up question is specifically pertaining to this example answer. So in a previous role, I managed an AI-powered rec system, implemented A/B testing, and then what metrics did you use? Yeah, I really like the follow-up questions because it forces you to go to that next level, thinking through your answer to each question. And when I clean up this prompt and share it, on social media and stuff, I might consider adding like 3 follow-up questions. Ooh, I like this. Just between team members from different disciplines. I like that a lot. Yeah, a lot of the follow-up questions are like, can you share an example? Can you share an example? But I also think that's very realistic. Like, if this was kind of the initial question you got, and this is how you started to answer, certainly like an ideal answer would start off kind of with a general and give an example. But I like that it kind of forces you during your interview prep to think through an example for each of these topics. Okay, nice. So I really like that so far. I'm going to rename this to interview prepped prompt. All right, cool. So now going back to this list, the second topic is finding new jobs. So now the next prompt we're working on in terms of identifying jobs and how to get your dream job will be, you give ChatGPT your resume and then it analyzes it and figures out like the gap between where you currently are in your resume and the dream job you want. Or maybe, you do have a lot of skills related to the dream job and you just need to emphasize them in a different way in your resume. So something like that. So to ask, let's say I am applying for my ideal role in my ideal industry, review my resume or analyze my resume, and create a report that details my skills, and qualifications. I already have related to the role, and skills and qualifications I lack. I need to develop to get the role. Something like that. Kind of wordy, but whatever. So the input would be ideal role. Ideal industry. And then the output will be the report that describes what skills and qualifications I have relevant to the role and what I'm lacking and need to learn or improve. Something like that. I haven't actually interviewed for a job in over a decade. So right out of college, I just started a company and did not have to interview for a job. Okay, let's see the prompt. I love how Anthropic just cleaned up my word vomit like so much better. And let's do the thing again where we like run it through prompt engineer and see like if that'll improve the prompt. That was fun, but I was kind of surprised it didn't change anything. I should have copy pasted it so we could build a new prompt from scratch, but I forgot again. Improve my prompt. So just reading this, here's the full text. I'm gonna upload a resume image or PDF, so I'm gonna reword this when we use it. Please review blah blah blah. It's interesting, like the scratch pad. It's like chain of thought, like think about it first and then come up with the final output. This is debatable. Like, you are already uploading / sending in your resume data. So, and then let's see here how it improved it. Okay, review the candidate. I just listed it out, I guess, step by step. Section 1. But, I don't notice any substantial changes. It literally just parsed it out into bullet points. So, but anyway, yeah, let's try using this. There's some things I'm going to change. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so ChatGPT 4. So, resume, let's say, uploaded. Hopefully that'll do it. Let's say, so the resume we are uploading is a front-end engineer. The ideal role is a full-stack engineer, so it does front-end and back-end. The ideal industry, let's say it's like fintech, oh man, I lost the bullet points when I copy-pasted, but whatever. I think I'm going to remove this in terms of, I like the goal. The goal is to provide a helpful high-level assessment, not to rehash the resume. Ugh, formatting is all messed up now from copy-pasting it. Okay, whatever. So let's upload the resume we downloaded and then go. So this is Johann Bach, and let's look at this resume. So front-end developer, ooh, he worked at Zillow and HubSpot. It's pretty good. You could see his front-end skills, Bachelor of Science, awesome. Here this does seem like a full-stack role. This one is I guess just although this is developing a Node.js server. So this is first analyzing what skills and qualifications I already have that are relevant to a full stack engineer role. I like that it just parses out front end, then back end, and I guess, testing as well. Just kind of summarized my experience there. I like how it parsed out the quantifiable achievements. So this is the more interesting part, right? Like, what is the gap between where I am today and the skills and qualifications I need to get the dream job that I want? So yeah, so full stack, gain more experience with server-side languages, blah, 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 commonly used in fintech. This is true. Database management, I don't think it included anything about databases. So I'm just opening this guy again. Yeah, didn't mention anything about databases or cloud like AWS or anything like that. Yeah, for fintech specifically, just having a better understanding of regulations and compliance. I don't know about this. Seems optional. Advanced skills. I mean, this is for a different kind of role. That's not super relevant. DevOps, yeah, DevOps and cloud for sure. I can see that being relevant for a full stack role. Security, that's true. Yeah, I mean, especially if you're doing something in fintech, security is going to be top of mind. So recommendations, training, certifications in relevant technologies. It's kind of all over the place here. Yes, AWS CSA, that's a pretty basic certification too. That's totally achievable. This Kubernetes admin, that seems really random. And then courses in blockchain, that seems random. Yeah, I like the side projects. So I like it overall. It did a good job kind of summarizing the skills and qualifications that Johann Bach already have that are relevant to the role. And in terms of skills and qualifications to develop, I think it's like 70% of the way there. I just didn't like the emphasis on like AI and blockchain and crypto. But, and then for recommendations, I really just don't know about this certified Kubernetes admin and courses in blockchain. So I think one way to potentially improve this is instead of putting your ideal role or ideal industry, like literally link to a job post. And so let's see, full stack job. Sure. Yeah, I'm in Salt Lake. Yeah, let's see if this works any better. So I'm just gonna edit this. Might need the web browser since this is a link. So just to be safe, I'm gonna open this new chat. So this web browser, GPT, searches the web and stuff. I'm gonna remove reference to. All right, let's see if that works. I just put the link. I don't know if I need to add additional context here for the ideal role, like telling it to analyze the website, but let's see. And let's actually go back to the job post because I didn't actually read it. So if you're applying for jobs, don't be like me. You have to read the job description. Okay, they are building an AI. Oh, well, in this case, AI would be relevant to know. AI LLM platform to accelerate product dev and manufacturing companies creating NLP pipelines. Oh, identify all regulations relevant to a product. Again, here the relevant skills and qualifications. Yes. Oh, nice. Are these real links? Okay. Oh, sweet. Sometimes I swear ChatGPT just hallucinates links all the time. Yeah, now it's just like linking to a job template, which is totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. Thanks, ChatGPT. Anyway, yeah, so I think the problem with this analysis is I don't think it actually read the job description here because update this again and literally just paste in. I'm just going to paste in this role. Okay. Now let's do that. So that way it doesn't have to search the internet and confuse itself. So really all I did is I just took kind of the relevant section of this job post and then pasted it into the ideal role tag. I like all the relevant skills and qualifications. Now this is the gap. So skills and qualifications, this Johann Bach is currently lacking for the role. More experience in full stack development within a startup. That's true. Yeah, he worked at pretty big companies. Experience with new technology. Yeah, specifies which are. Yeah, I don't think he has any experience with Docker and AWS based on his resume. So this is a really good one. And yeah, he doesn't have, at least not in the resume. He doesn't list exposure to security practices, nor does he list anything related to AI. So these three are terrific in terms of gaps between where Johann Bach currently is and where he needs to be to apply for this kind of position. So here are the recommendations. Yeah, I like this in general. Like if you're transitioning from front end to full stack, then do more full stack projects. And then learn new technologies like Docker, AWS, etc., that are pretty common in full stack roles. Security knowledge and AI and machine learning, since this particular role involves AI and LLMs. That makes sense. So I really like this version of the prompt much better than the previous one, which had like recommendations that weren't super relevant. This one here, I actually pasted, let's say a sample JD of like your ideal position. In this case, it's a full stack engineering role at an AI startup. And then ChatGPT was much better able to kind of analyze Johann Bach's current resume and identify gaps in the resume for this kind of full stack engineering role. Job role prompt. Okay, going back to the list, salary negotiation is next. So there are a couple different angles we could take with salary negotiation. Let me discard this. Okay, so we're going to create a new prompt. I'm just gonna exit and start a new one. Okay, so task. Let's say I have received a job offer that I'm excited about, but the the salary is lower than what I expected. Your task is to create a negotiation plan that enables me to ask for a higher salary in a compelling way without jeopardizing the job offer. Okay, so the input will be, let's say it's the job offer and salary. The output would be the negotiation plan. Let's say like detailed step-by-step negotiation plan, please. Okay. I like that. It says it's going to repeat it for at least 5 steps. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try this out in ChatGPT. I'm not going to run it through Prompt Engineer just because the tweaks it has made so far have not been meaningful. Let's just go ahead and try this out. So job offer details. So let's say I'm being a prompt engineering role for $100,000 annual salary. And then I guess this is my desired salary. So say I want to negotiate it up to like 130,000. Just making the numbers easy. Okay. And now ChatGPT is making a salary negotiation plan. Okay, the first step is research. It would be nice if ChatGPT did that for me. And then examples. I like that it has an example script. And then, yeah, I mean, this is very professional, honestly. You do your research, and then you ask for a salary in line with your research. And you emphasize, your relevant background and expertise and that you are excited to join the company if only, we can sort out the negotiation. And then I like this as well. So if the salary numerically is not attainable, what are other things you can negotiate for? Additional vacation days, a signing bonus, professional development opportunities. I like that, there's a little flexibility here that it's proposing. So I'm trying to think of how I would improve this. I would probably include what's the most common objection for each of these steps. The most difficult objection to the example. Script. Objection. Okay, that's what I would add. So let's try that. And the reason is if I'm doing this for interview prep, I really want ChatGPT to challenge me in a safe setting and also to help me think through what I want, and also to understand the company's perspective that I'm negotiating against, So here, So here, yeah, I mean, the most difficult objection is, the budget is fixed and we cannot exceed 100K. And so, a lot of companies just say that. Like, that's just literally what they say. Is it true? I mean, everything is negotiable at the end of the day. If they really want you, even if it takes 5 approval levels to go through, it can happen. And so I like that ChatGPT gave this objection, because it is a very difficult objection, and people stop when they hear this. Like, they're just like, oh, it's fixed. I can't do anything about it, which is what makes it such a great objection, right? But the reality is, like, everything is negotiable. So I really like that this objection is here, because it forces you to think through it. Like, what is your reaction going to be when they say that? Because it's a pretty standard objection, and it's a very difficult objection to overcome. Yeah. Oh man, these objections are difficult. Like, how would you feel, right? When somebody says that to you? We appreciate your enthusiasm, but the salary offers firm. Yeah, we just can't accommodate such a significant increase. And this is interview prep, right? Like, part of the purposes of this is to help you think through what you want, what you're willing to trade, what's really important to you. Yeah, no, I really like this. Okay, cool. So I'm going to rename this to... So the reason why I'm renaming all these is because I'm going to basically create like a prompt library that folks on TikTok can access and just use these prompts for themselves to help prepare for their interviews and stuff. Next one is cover letter writing. And I really don't know why companies still require you to write a cover letter. It kind of seems like a waste of time, to be honest. But anyway, so let's help people automate it. So the task is, let's say I am interviewing for a role at a company, or I am applying for a role at a company. Write a cover, or I guess like analyze the company's website and write a cover letter. Say resume cover letter, just be more specific. Write a resume cover letter that aligns with the company's mission and culture. The input will be the role, the company, and the websites. The output will be resume cover letter. I do want to add some things like your writing style is Spartan. This helps ChatGPT cut down on fluff and stuff. Yeah. Spartan, let's say professional and optimistic. I don't want to say enthusiastic, because then ChatGPT it's too much sometimes. So Coinbase. Let's do Coinbase. All right. Okay. Please read through. All right. Let's do this. Yeah. No, let's do the link reader. You are applying for the role of, let's say, data analyst at the company. Really wish ChatGPT had Vim mode, right? And I'm just going to be really clear about the company website. Yeah. Okay. Let's try it out. Okay. Yeah, I like this cover letter I'm writing to express blah blah blah. Little formal, but I mean it's a cover letter, so maybe that's fine. I don't know. I personally do not know what the best practices for cover letters are in 2024. Like I said at the beginning, I'm surprised that you still need a cover letter to apply for roles. It seems really outdated, to be honest. I do like kind of this template of emphasizing your previous role. Here were my skills, and this is how it's related to you, Coinbase. It talks about the mission. Yeah, I mean, I think this cover letter is passable. It's not clear to me how I'd improve it yet, but as people use the prompt, I'll probably get some feedback on ways to make it better. Okay, cool. And then the last item on the list is avoiding resume mistakes, or more generally, just optimizing a resume. Okay, so again, let's start with the prompt generator. The task is I am applying for jobs in this role and industry. Your task is to so I think for the resume, one of the most important things is having keywords related to the role you're applying for. And the reason that's important is because recruiters also use AI tools that are analyzing your resume and placing weight on keywords that are present in both the resume and the job description. So you want to optimize your resume so that when it's scanned by AI and then scanned by a human recruiter for 60 seconds, your resume pops out because of the relevant keywords present. So analyze my resume and offer suggestions for keywords to include in my resume to make it stand out. So the input will be let's say the role, and the keywords could be different depending on the industry. Like fintech might have a different set of keywords compared to healthcare, which is why industry is an important input here. And then role and resume. The output would be, let's say updated resume text with keywords, something like that. I've been so impressed by how Anthropic prompt generator just takes the mess of words and concepts from my mind and generates a really nice, clean prompt engineering optimized prompt. So resume optimization. Oh, nice. I like that context. Let's do that front end engineering guy just because I have the resume. So he's targeting a full stack engineer role. Let's say the industry now is healthcare. So might have different keywords. Be able to read this image. It's not even a PDF. It's a PNG. Okay. Okay. So here are the hard skills that are typically important. Yeah, I like the mention of healthcare related technologies like HL7 and Fire. Yeah, it seems like it did just fine analyzing the picture of the resume. Gaps and opportunities, like 100%. It doesn't mention anything about SQL or databases, no cloud or DevOps, Docker, nothing healthcare related. Yeah, the recent experience emphasized more the front end rather than full stack, and there's no certifications or anything mentioned. So this is the updated resume. So the problem here is ChatGPT just added a bunch of skills that this guy doesn't have. So if you look at skills here, it just added Docker, Kubernetes, AWS, and healthcare. So that's not super great that it just added that. It also added certifications that this guy doesn't have. So I think what we want it to do is, instead of actually rewriting the resume with the keywords, just to suggest the list of keywords that would be really important. And it's really up to the person, right? If you really want something in healthcare and standards like HL7 and Fire are really prominent in health IT, then you might choose to pursue certification or online learning related to those topics and keywords. But let's leave it up to the person to decide that. So let's change this a bit. So it analyzes the resume, analyzes the role and industry, and suggests the keywords that should be incorporated in the resume to pass through automated screening systems. And it's not just automated screening systems, even human recruiters, including hiring managers and stuff, they don't spend a ton of time digging into your resume. And so the point of these keywords is to just help your resume pop out a little bit by having relevant keywords to the role. Which will be, so this is what will change, which will be. So again, what we're changing here is, instead of rewriting the resume and asking ChatGPT to incorporate the keywords, which can lead to all sorts of hallucination. You don't want to put random stuff on your resume that is not true. ChatGPT here instead will give you the suggestion of keywords that you should incorporate that would really help your resume stand out. And if you don't have, one of those skills, such as AWS or Docker, then it's up to you as the person applying for this role to determine whether you want to invest in learning those skills so you can put it in your resume. Okay, so here's the final answer. So scrolling up. So this is just the scratch pad, identifying your skills and qualifications for the full stack engineering role, analyzing current resume strengths and gaps. I like that, actually. Gaps are lacking healthcare experience. There's no keywords related to healthcare data standards like HL7, FHIR, HIPAA, blah, blah, blah. So here we start with the relevant keywords. So ChatGPT is researching keywords and phrases for full stack engineer role in healthcare. Yeah, this is definitely spot on. Select specific keywords and phrases for resume. I think this is a big one, especially if you were applying for any tech role in healthcare. And then cloud services and databases, which this person, Johan Bach, currently doesn't have. And then here's the final list of keywords and phrases to incorporate. So as a person kind of using ChatGPT to optimize my resume, I would look at this list of keywords and be like, do I know this? Do I know that? If I know it, for example, like front end, then I should include those keywords so that they stand out. If I don't know it, then number one, I should probably read up a little bit on it, which you can do within ChatGPT. You can have ChatGPT explain each one of these concepts, right? And then it's really up to you how much further you want to dive into it. Like you could get an AWS certificate to showcase that you are familiar with AWS, even if you didn't use it in your last role. But it's up to you as the person applying to determine, what skills you want to further invest in so that you can include these keywords on your resume and help your resume stand out more. All right, so I like this current version. So I'll call it resume keywords prompts. Okay. I think we have, our 5 prompts: interview prep, job role, negotiation, cover letter, and the resume keywords prompts. So just to recap what we did, I used Anthropic's prompt generator, described a task, the input and output for each task, and then used that Anthropic prompt in ChatGPT, played around with the prompt and did some tweaks for most of them to get closer to what we want. And now I have a final list of prompts related to job hunting that I can share with people, that I feel good about sharing with people because I've ran it through a couple examples. And the cool thing is, like, when I share this with people, like, I get feedback too, like, oh, how do I tweak it for this or for that? And part of the reason of filming this video is to showcase, like, how you can kind of tweak the prompts to your liking, or how you can generate prompts completely from scratch using Anthropic prompt generator, and how those prompts incorporate a lot of best practices from prompt engineering. For example, things like using a scratch pad, which is a chain of thoughts, helping ChatGPT think first before having its final answer, and then breaking down a complex task into sub-steps. For example, here are the steps that I will take, blah, blah, blah. And then, these tags like this to make it super clear what each input is and where ChatGPT should place the output. So these are awesome, prompt engineering best practices. I've really enjoyed using Anthropic's prompt generator so far. And a couple times we did run it through this prompt engineer GPT to try and improve upon Anthropic's prompt, but it didn't really meaningfully change or add anything. So that was interesting. I'm Sabrina Ramonov. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe. See you next time.